Yeah, so tonight, Jordan Love, they go up against the Lions. The Lions have obviously been rolling this year, but they've got a bunch of injuries stacked up against them right now.
Yep.
So with all those injuries, if they end up beating this feisty Green Bay team, do you think it'll start to feel like they're more of a team of destiny, or this is their year?
Well, listen, the Lions have been great, and this should be, DeMonze, one of the best Thursday night games ever. Not only because it's two excellent teams, but here's the other thing. Two excellent teams, neither on short rest. We rarely get this, where I guess we get it somewhat regularly on this exact Thursday after Thanksgiving, but they both played on Thanksgiving, so they're both on regular rest for the week. So you're not going to have as much kind of disjointed football, as probably as many injuries as we tend to see on these short week Thursday games. And the upside for the Packers here is just massive. Like, we've talked about the Packers all year as, okay, they're a good team, but they're not clearly the class of the NFC. If they win this game, they're a game out of first place in the conference. If they win this game, they're a game out of first place in their division. Now, it'd be hard for them to catch Philly because they played Philly in week 1 and lost, so they would actually need, you know what I mean, to have a full game past Philadelphia. But Packers right now they're not fraudulent, but they have questions. And the reason I say that is they have played 3 games against the 3 teams in the conference that have a better record than them. Philly, Minnesota, Detroit. Those are their 3 losses. So they lose tonight, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, you're 0-4 against the 4 teams ahead of you, 9-0 against everyone else. How seriously can we believe that come the playoffs, you're going to be able to beat all of those teams, or at least 2 of those 3 teams that have owned you? So this is a huge game for the Packers. It is also a massive game for Detroit, because Detroit wins tonight, give themselves, keeps Minnesota at bay and puts Green Bay to bed from the division and stays the 1 seed. Detroit loses tonight, and they could find themselves come Sunday evening in a 3-way tie for first in the conference, a 2-way tie for first in the division, and Detroit, which we've been talking about them, Ford Field, never go outside, have the 1 seed, have the bye, to where they could be a loss to the Bills a week from now, away from being the 5 seed. And what I'm telling you, what you don't want if you're Detroit is to be smooth sailing all year long. They have played 1 game outdoors, right? How many games outdoors have they played? I'm going to pull it up. I think up to this point in the season, they've played 1 outdoor game. Yes, that's right. Because they're all at the Packers, the only time they've been outdoors. And the rest of the way, they only have 2 more outdoor games, at Chicago and then at the Niners later in the year. What you don't want, DeMonze, is you're smooth sailing all year, and then all of a sudden, a 10-day hiccup, Minnesota stays hot, you're the 5 seed, and your playoff path is, okay, no problem. Go to Tampa in week 1 of the playoffs, go to Philly in week, them coming off a bye in week 2 of the playoffs. Like, you gotta, so there is real stakes for Detroit. I do think Detroit's an excellent team. There's absolutely no denying they're an excellent team. I do worry about the clustering of injuries on defense, and if that is going to force them into shootouts, in the postseason. And listen, we know who the Lions want to be. They want to run the ball, have Jared Goff throw, in advantageous down and distance positions, and he has been great. There's no denying that Jared Goff's been great. But playing with a lead indoors versus being in a dogfight outdoors feels like very different scenarios for the Lions. So I'm not acting like the Lions are frauds. I'm not acting like the Lions aren't one of the 4 best teams in football. They clearly are. There are clearly 4 teams in football that have separated themselves. The Eagles, the Lions, the Bills, and the Chiefs. And we can argue about the order of it. I don't buy the idea that the Lions, because of their margin of victory, are head and shoulders better than everybody. I don't buy that. I do think that a win tonight puts them in a great position to be the 1 seed in the NFC. And a loss tonight makes all of a sudden that game next Sunday against Buffalo damn near a must-win for them. So while the bottom part of the playoff race is not all that intriguing, the very top part in both conferences, Detroit trying to hold off Philly and Minnesota, the Chiefs trying to hold off Buffalo, are super intriguing. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.